Yes, sir, you can begin.
Okay. Good evening to all of good afternoon to all of you. I'm Hital Prajapati from the Diploma Electrical Engineering, Parur University. Today we have the webinar on the development in electrical vehicle technology. We have the Dr. Pritesh Mankad sir from the Bates College. Uh, I'd like to give brief introductions about him. Pritesh Mankad sir has done 1 minute. Pritesh Magarsa has done PhD in improved direct torque control strategy suitable for wide range speed control application using induction motor drives. He has done his master from the Allahabad and the bachelor from the MS University. He have the 2 years industrial experience and the 6 years postgraduate teaching experience and the 20 years teaching experience. His specialization is power electronics and electrical drives, instrumentation control, and power system protections. Today in our webinar, he will cover the types of electrical vehicles, parts of electrical vehicles, present status, project research area in brief, and challenges against electrical vehicles, opportunities for future strengths in electrical vehicles. I would like to request to Bridesh sir, please start your presentations. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for giving this opportunity to share my presentation on electric vehicles to the students of and faculty of PU and the other participants also. So, before I start, I would like to mention that as a student of this subject, whatever little I have learned is what I am going to share today. Mostly it is the data compiled using the books and research papers, and the main learning source is the SWAYAM course by Professor Dr. Amit Jain of IIT Delhi. So I am giving the credit in the beginning itself. These are the topics which I am going to discuss in this particular 1 hour which I have been allotted. So let's start with the first topic. Before I go any further into the discussion, electrical energy is the source of all the equipments which we are using, all the machines, whether they are mechanical or all the engineering branches are using electrical energy for their own work. But the only sector which was left out was transportation sector. And transportation sector is still governed by the mechanical or IC engine, petrol or diesel vehicles. So this was the history so far, and what is going to change is what we are going to discuss today. So this is an electric vehicle. These are some of the news articles which were there that petrol and diesel cars will be soon be history. 9 countries say they'll ban internal combustion engines. So far, it's just words. Will electric vehicles really put an end to gas cars? See, look at the headlines, and these are all in all reputed journals and magazines and newspapers. So it's really interesting for us. Mainly as an electrical engineering, I am targeting to the audience of electrical students and faculty. The audience may be from non-electrical branch, but main focus will be from electric engineering point of view. I will be able to discuss the EVs because EV is also having many mechanical and other aspects also. So computer aspects also, controlling aspects also. That will not be the scope of this presentation. So what's an electric vehicles? Let's make it very simple. An EV is anything, any vehicle which is using partially or fully the electrical energy. So it is using electrical energy as a source, and it also uses a electric motor for the propulsion purpose. So EV is something which is using electrical energy and electric motors, either partially or fully. It is interesting to know that it is not that the EVs have been evolved right now. It is the history goes long back. See, in 1834, the first electric vehicles was manufactured with non-rechargeable batteries. So the history goes to a long back. This was the golden period. So before IC engines or petrol diesel cars were there, the elite people, rich people were actually using electric vehicles, and it was most popular. This 1874 to 1912 is a golden period of electric vehicles, where in US the history says 32,000 EVs were registered at that time. Then there was a downfall, and in 1925, virtually the end was there. The mass production of IC engine vehicles and the invention of electric motors as a starter of these engines put an end to it. We'll see about it that slightly later. Then in 1970s, the talk about EVs re-emerged, and in 1990s and onwards, some important resolutions were passed, like California Air Resource Board (CARB), and then at this time most elite, most luxurious cars are now EV. Tesla Model 3 is the one which already people are talking about, and Model Y is in there. Even Roadster sports model is also coming. So let's know about the history of EV. So quickly, if you go through the gasoline cars of 1900 were very noisy, dirty, smelly, and cantankerous and unreliable. If you have seen the videos of Lauren and Hardy or Charlie Chaplin, they used a mechanical handle in front of the bonnet to start these motors. So they were so very hard, and even normal people could not start it. So that was a problem, and people were not preferring gasoline cars. They were very noisy and dirty. Where in the comparison, electric cars were very comfortable, quiet, clean, and fashionable. The ease of control was also the desirable feature, and these were the batteries used. Lead acid batteries were used in those cars. We already seen the 1890 to 1924 is the peak golden period of electric cars, but these were the problems at that time also. The range was limited, battery charging was required after every trip, and in 1924, the automobile show, no electric cars were on display. So officially, people say this was the end of electric car era, or the golden age of EVs were ended at this particular time. These are some of the pictures of the that then time popular EVs. You see, the Thomas Alva Edison company also made the electric cars using nickel alkaline batteries. Why EV died? Obviously, the range was not there, and speed also not there. Mass production technique was not there. One piece per was made at a time. The assembly line production technique was not there at that particular time. Charging facilities were not available outside the cities. Motorized assembly lines, as I talked about, with which were installed by Ford, and because of that, petrol diesel car was having cost one third compared to electric vehicles, and they were available in huge quantity. So these were and then this is the example I use. This electric motor. The was a Uh, Zero vehicle emission. That was only possible if 30%, 35% of the vehicles were electric vehicles. So Tesla Motors, they took up the challenge, and they officially or popularly started making electric vehicles in 2004. Before that, they were only in the experimental stage. The Tesla Roadster was the now why electric vehicles now in 2020? So negative climate change, greenhouse gases, traffic. So we will now move to the types of EVs. The classification of EVs in n number of ways. I'll student.
Sir, thoda, there is some problem in voice. Your signal is discontinuous. So please check it.
Hello. Huh.
Yeah. Now it is okay. Now it is
Okay.
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 Okay. Continue.
Yeah. So electric vehicles can be classified in n number of ways. And the simple classification I have covered for the sake of students. One is pure electric vehicles, which is known as battery electric vehicles. Then fuel cell electric vehicles and hybrid electric vehicles. So today we wish to have an overview of these three only. This is the way in which from प्योर आईसी इंजन व्हीकल्स जो हमारे पुराने इंजन्स थे वहां से लेके फुल इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स की जर्नी. So it was not possible to have full electric vehicles in the beginning. So they started that why not to have a slight part of electric vehicles. So they started with the micro hybrid where only 12-volt batteries were there, then mild hybrid, then full hybrid, plug-in hybrid, extended range electric vehicles, and then now we have full electric vehicles. What are these? In brief, we'll see each of this in this presentation. So we'll start with the battery electric vehicles or pure electric vehicles. So pure electric vehicles, as you can see, is having two main parts: battery as a source of energy and motors as a source of propulsion. So we can see over here that battery is a DC and a motor can be AC or DC. So you have a converters to interact between the motor and energy source. We have a ultra capacitor or capacitor bank also. So the function of it we'll see slightly later. So in short, we have a important parts: converters, batteries, and motors. If you see the layout of an EV, generally these are the battery packs lying at the bottom of it, bottom of the passenger seating area, and these are the charging areas, motors, and the broad area is like this. So you can see there are no major mechanical parts. So a huge space is available for the other purposes in EVs. if you save the volume and weight of the battery. So battery is the main part. If you can have a lighter weight batteries, having a smaller size, then your EV is going to rock. These are some of the latest. It's a screenshot of yesterday only. So upcoming EVs, MG, which is Halol only, it is coming up with the EV which is having approximately 21 lakhs. Tata Nexon already in the market with approximately 15 lakh price, and it is offering the battery warranty of 8 years. Hyundai Kona Electric already popular in other countries. In India, it will be launched soon, and Tata Tigor is also coming with. So these are not there on the paper; they are already there, and someday or the other you will see them going past you. So what is so specific about BEV? They use high capacity batteries as a source of energy. प्लीज कीप इन माइंड, जो बैटरी हम लोग अभी यूज करते हैं अपनी कार में, वो सिर्फ स्टार्टिंग पर्पस के लिए यूज होती है. इट इज यूज ओनली फॉर स्टार्टिंग एंड लाइटिंग एंड ऑल. दैट बैटरी इज एंटायरली डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द अदर सोर्सेस. I think my audio is all right, madam.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So electric motors for propulsion, it is there. No IC engine, no fuel tank, no fuel cell. These are all space occupying items which are not there. And the only problem is the only way to recharge is through plug-in charging point. And some of the examples are cited over here. What are the advantages? Very popular and most popular example or advantage is that it is ZEV, zero emission vehicle. It does not emit any carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, or anything. Whatever little gases are emitted, they are emitted by battery reaction only, but they are also a negligible percentage of it. It is a sustainable transport. That means over the year, because of it, there are not going to be climate issues or something like that. Super performance. You ride an electric car and you are going to forget about the petrol and diesel car. And its acceleration and performance is very superior to the IC engine vehicles or petrol or diesel cars. You don't require any transmission. Engines are the IC engines, they cannot operate at different torque and speed regions. So you need a manual वेरिएबल ट्रांसमिशन सिस्टम, जिन्हें આપણે गियर, जिसको हम गियर कहते हैं, तो अलग अलग गियर और गियर बॉक्स चाहिए. जबकि हियर वी डू नॉट रिक्वायर सच अरेंजमेंट. यू ओनली रिक्वायर a gear to reduce motor speed, generally 10:1, and then it is all. Less mechanical parts, so no maintenance is there. More reliable. Running cost is always very less. It is going to be whatever is the charging bill which you are having. It is very highly efficient. If you talk about efficiency, it is very interesting to know that efficiency of battery electric vehicle for a fully 100% charged battery is 72%. That is from battery up to wheels. The efficiency is 72%. While IC engines, if you use 100% gasoline, that is petrol or diesel, then the efficiency at wheel is 16%, 1/6. There is huge difference in the efficiency. Can be charged using any source. This is the most technically very lucrative part. That means if I am going to use the conventional thermal or gas turbine power plant electrical energy to charge these batteries, then I am going to have no big achievement. But if I charge these batteries using solar energy or wind energy, or that is renewable energy, that means then in a real sense it is going to be a zero emission vehicle. So it is possible to charge it using solar rooftop of your house also. While petrol or diesel car, you have to go to the petrol pump and you have to use that only. No other source can be there. The most important technical part which we learn in electrical drives or utilization of electrical engineering also, that it is taking back the energy. So whenever you have excess energy, that is regenerative braking, it can recover and feed back it to it. So it can be used to charge the batteries and you can recover the energy which was wasted, or which is rather wasted in friction in all the IC engine vehicles. So this is a technically very important. But still there are challenges. High initial cost, very high. The Cheapest car is also 16 lakhs. 8 lakh car is coming up, but I don't know when it is going to see the day, light of the day. Battery is the only source. Batteries take up large space and they are very heavy. Replacement is required after every few years. Of course, there is a lot of development in the field, and the number of years, the life is increasing day by day. But this is the story so far. There is a long charging time. पेट्रोल आपको रिफिल कराने में लगते हैं 5 मिनट 10 मिनट, जबकि बैटरी आपको चार्ज करने में हो सकता है कि कम से कम 45 मिनट लगे और ज्यादा से ज्यादा 8 से 10 घंटे भी लग सकते हैं. इट इज हैविंग अ लिमिटेड रेंज. ऑफ कोर्स एक फुल बैटरी चार्ज करके आप 150 से लेके 300 किलोमीटर तक जा सकते हैं, नॉट मोर. Lack of charging stations on highway. You're not sure whether charging facility is available where you are going. So that was about the full electric vehicles known as BEV. Now fuel cell electric vehicles. So fuel cell electric vehicles is similar to BEVs, but the source of energy is a fuel cell, where you combine hydrogen and you take oxygen from the environment, and a fuel cell generates electrical energy, and then it is used by motors. So then the mechanism is like battery electric vehicles only, but the original source is hydrogen. Oxygen is freely available. You require battery also because whatever regeneration is available, fuel cell cannot take back the energy. So battery is there to support it, and battery takes up the regenerative energy available at the time of braking. This is the arrangement of our fuel cell electric vehicles. Fuel cell you already know, so it is none of not in the scope of this to discuss about fuel cell, but it combines hydrogen and oxygen and produces electrical energy. Electric motor is used. Driving range is comparable to IC engines because now charging is not an issue. If you have a hydrogen cylinder filled with hydrogen, so you can move ahead. This is not on paper. It is already there. You can see hydrogen filling station. You can see a BMW with the fuel cell. Features: almost zero emission, long range, direct conversion of electrical from chemical reaction. So no mechanical gas turbine, steam turbine or something heat engine is required to generate electrical energy. Combustion is not there, so gases are not there. Availability of hydrogen filling station is a challenge. High initial cost, costly vehicles, and less reliable supply of electrical by fuel cell compared to batteries. Now let's coming to the most popular part of it, that is called hybrid electric vehicles. So hybrid means a mix of two. There is the electrical part also, there is electrical batteries and electrical motors, and the conventional diesel and petrol engines also. Those are they combine, they give them energy to move the wheels. You can see over here, this arrangement is having IC engines and motors, and there is a mechanical, some complex arrangements are there which share the energy. And here you can use battery as long as battery is available, and otherwise fuel is already there. So hybrid electric vehicles are also very popular these days, and there are a lot, uh, wide variety of hybrid vehicles available. Some of them we would like to discuss in today's lecture. This is a rough schematic arrangement of how a battery electric hybrid electric vehicles is there. So battery is there, and you have the energy from battery to motor, and internal combustion engine also giving this energy, and then you are having the energy to the drives. And this is the generator. So whenever regenerative part is there, so this generator generates electrical energy and it is used to charge the battery. It combines the properties of IC engineering, IC internal combustion engines, and battery electric vehicles. Driving power source includes both gasoline, diesel, and electricity. Propulsion relies on engine and electric motor both. That's why it is called hybrid. And they are classified in conventional hybrid electric vehicles are micro, mild, and full HEVs, while the latest grid-able HEVs are plug-in hybrid electric vehicles and range-extended electric vehicles. Batteries work for small distance within cities. On highway or long distance, you can use IC engines, so you are not having the anxiety about the range. Um, Here plug-in charging is not required. So whenever IC engine is there, it is taking the charge and it is using generator to charge the battery. So no plug-in charging is required in the conventional hybrid vehicles. It is a range having comparable to IC engine vehicles. As long as you have fuel, you can move. Economically more practical, and no zero emission is there because you have IC engines. It is having increased complexity and high initial cost. Micro HEV example, which I would like to discuss. Why it is called micro? So here only small part is taken up by the battery and motors. It is used only for start-stop purpose. So 3 to 5% fuel saving is there. इन आईसी इंजन द आइडलिंग टाइम जब हम सिग्नल पे रुक जाते हैं तो उस वक्त जो इंजन हमारा आइडल करता रहता है उस वक्त जो एनर्जी वेस्ट होती है दैट ओनली इज एम्ड एट इट the famous S-Cross model, which this is the screenshot from the S-Cross Maruti website only. You can see over here that जब भी आप स्टॉप करते हैं कार एकदम स्टॉप हो जाती है automatically this hybrid part takes over, that is electric part takes over, engine is turned off, and as जैसे आप ब्रेक से पैर लेके एक्सीलेटर पे पैर डालते हो it starts the engine. So during that particular time it is taking care. So start stop part के लिए it is used batteries and electric motors. So उसके लिए ये जो blue part is there, it is known as integrated uh, starter generator. In IC engine, if you those who are already having cars, most of you are having electric cars. There are two purposes. You have electric motor or starter for starting purpose, and you have generator. When your car is running, you are having generator for charging the batteries and providing voltage for different auxiliary functions and lighting and all whatnot. So this integrated starter generator is a combination. So when needed, it can work as a motor, and when excess energy is available, it can work as a generator. So integrated starter generator, and when the word integrated, that means it is inbuilt with the engine. So it is there is no separate part available inside the engine. This is available, and you only having the power cables coming out. So integrated starter generator is the inherent part of all hybrid vehicles. The only thing is, as long as your hybridization increases, the size of this ISG also increases. Mild hybrid here, the integrated starter generator is of little higher purpose. Here, in addition to start stop, it is also helping in some other functions also, and you have a 20 to 25% fuel saving. Um, Compared to IC engine vehicles. Some of the popular examples are listed. This is the Ciaz, which is having mild hybrid. Now, plug-in hybrid. So, plug-in hybrid is a gridable. That means here you have some arrangement where you can plug in and charge the batteries. So, plug-in hybrid electric vehicles is a paradigm shift. So, here the main source of propulsion is going to be a motor, and generator is that is sorry IC engine is supporting the motor in case the battery runs out. So you can see over here that here a charging arrangement is there, which were not there in the previous arrangements, right? So here they are running in a parallel fashion. There are a number of hybridization topologies available. We'll not go to into it, but this is the plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. One further step towards the full electric vehicles is known as range extended EV. So it is almost an electric vehicles, but a small engine is there, which is just that sort of emergency purpose. That means when you feel as if your battery is going to run out and a city is still away, then you have a small fuel tank, you have a small engine which can basically take care of it. So engine does not directly run the wheels. Engine gives away energy to converter. It is using this motor, and that means this motor itself is running. So it is known as range extending electric vehicles. The latest or the smartest hybrid vehicles is REEV. Range extended vehicle is having a battery electric vehicles that includes an auxiliary power unit known as a range extender. The range extender drives an electric generator which charges a battery which supplies the vehicle's electric motor with electricity. This arrangement is known as a series hybrid drivetrain. The most commonly used range extenders are internal combustion engines, but fuel cells or other engines types can also be used. This is an REV example of BMW i3. Now, the discussion so far was for different electric vehicles. So you can see over here, starting from micro hybrid, mild hybrid, full hybrid, these three category are having IC engines, and here the size of battery is increasing and the engine size is decreasing. And these are the plug-in hybrid electric vehicles or range extended vehicles. These are the vehicles where having the motor or batteries are main source, and you are having an engine to support. So this is the main difference between the hybridization of first category and second category. See the growth of different hybrid vehicles. The initial micro hybrids were having 2 to 5 kilowatt capacity only, while full hybrid is having 15 to 100 kilowatt capacity. Voltage was also very less, 12 voltage or so in initial micro hybrid, but now you have a large battery packs of up to 600 volts, and you can see that 20 to 30% fuel economy improvement is there in a full hybrid, where initially it was only 3 to 5% in smart hybrid. These are some of the hybrid vehicles. I'll skip this. So now let's move to, it's already half time. So let's move to the more important parts. What are the parts and what are the latest trends in electric vehicles? Uh, so far as EV is concerned, the main two parts are storage part for storing the energy and the motors for giving the propulsion energy. So storage is also classified into two categories. First is main storage element, where they are batteries basically, and they provide extended range. So because of which your motor runs at a steady speed for long distances. But in addition, कोई भी कार को आपको बार बार स्टार्ट स्टॉप करना होता है, आपको एक्सिलरेट करना होता है या हिल क्लाइंबिंग करनी होती है, उस वक्त आपको ज्यादा एनर्जी चाहिए. सो सम एडिशनल अरेंजमेंट इज ऑन आर यूज, जिसको बोलते हैं रिचार्जेबल एनर्जी स्टोरेज सिस्टम्स लाइक अल्ट्रा कैपेसिटर, सुपर कैपेसिटर्स, अल्ट्रा फ्लाईव्हील्स. दीज आर लेटेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजीज. दे आर सपोर्टिंग the vehicles when you need to accelerate, hill climb, overtake करना है, उस वक्त excess energy देती है. एंड जब वो काम खत्म हो जाता है, when your car is running on steady speed, वो खुद फिर अपने आप रिचार्ज हो जाते हैं. See the what we were discussing about, this battery and fuel cell in this case can be a main source of energy. So for normal running or extended range they are used, and super capacitors are giving a high power for a short duration when you want to climb a hill or you want to overtake or when you want to start your vehicle. And when it is done, then it is a bidirectional flow, so then again it is used to recharge also. So a common DC link is there over here, and then this is DC to AC converter if you have a AC motor for running your uh, wheels. Now converters, as you see that you have different items. Batteries are there, you have fuel cells, you have super capacitors. So all these are operating at a DC voltage, but their voltage may not be same. So we use a common DC link, and that DC-DC converter is used to match these voltages. So for bidirectional power flow, these DC-DC converters are very useful. This is the those who are interested in about the converter part. So a lot of power electronics is also there in an electric vehicle. Just a brief glimpse of it is available over here. आप देख सकते हो कि in a hybrid vehicles engine is having generator to generate electrical energy which is three phase AC. उसको convert करके DC link में लाया जाता है. This is a common DC link, which is the objective of common DC link, which is very popular electrical engineers know, is to provide constant voltage DC. And charge करने के लिए it is used this DC-DC converter, and this is used to impart energy to a traction motor, which is more often a AC motor. This is the converter part. You have a unidirectional converter for some purposes. You have bidirectional converters also when you have battery charging or regenerative braking available. So we'll skip to that particular part. Now traction motors. Traction motors are special motors. You know, we are having a motors. Motors are having a gear reduction, generally 10:1, and they are running the wheels. Simple logic as that. But these motors are far different from the normal motors which we are running. What is required? These motors are supposed to start and stop frequently. The starting torque required from a traction motor is generally 4 to 5 times the rated. जबकि नॉर्मल मोटर के पास हम स्टार्टिंग टॉर्क की रिक्वायरमेंट जनरली ट्वाइस द रेटेड टॉर्क करते हैं. दूसरी बात, ये मोटर चाहिए हल्की, ये मोटर चाहिए छोटी. That means its power density should be more and its torque density also should be more. So these are some of the requirements from a traction motors or propulsion motors which are used in EVs. Less weight on structure, higher structural load leads to higher friction. They are supposed to operate in a higher efficiency region. And उसकी रेंज बहुत ही वाइड होनी चाहिए और हर एक रेंज में इट शुड बी एबल टू गिव अ गुड टॉर्क. आप जानते हो एक ड्राइव के 3 ऑपरेटिंग रीजन जनरली होते हैं. स्टार्टिंग वाला रीजन जिसको हम बोलते हैं लो स्पीड हाई टॉर्क रीजन. देन यू हैव अ कांस्टेंट टॉर्क, जब में स्पीड इंक्रीज होती जाती है पावर इंक्रीज होता जाता है. देन अप टू रेटेड स्पीड पहुंचने के बाद देन यू हैव क्रूजिंग, जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं हाईवे पे आपने एक्सप्रेस हाईवे पे अपने गाड़ी चला दी तो वो क्रूजिंग मोड बोलते हैं. क्रूजिंग मोड में द अदर फोर्सेस आर नॉट देयर. So you are having a speed increasing but torque decreasing and power is constant. So ये सभी अलग अलग मोड में आपकी मोटर ऑपरेट होनी चाहिए. These are the different motors available in this particular range. This itself is a big subject, so I'm not going to go into the detail of it. But three-phase induction motors, synchronous motors, permanent magnet induction synchronous motors are very popularly used. All these motors are there. DC motors with permanent magnets are popularly used in two-wheelers, and a huge area is there. So it is not. I'll not be able to justify in a short time about the motor part. But AC motors are very popular for larger rating EVs, and छोटे अपने two-wheeler के लिए permanent magnet DC motors are popularly used. We already discussed this part. So now let's come to the most important part is battery. So battery is the heart of a vehicle. Whatever little development is there, that is because of battery. And जो नहीं हो पा रहा है वो भी बैटरी की वजह से है. कार का पूरा वेट है उसका एक बहुत बड़ा पार्ट बैटरी ले लेती है. So battery's weight and battery's volume is very important. What is the capacity of battery, that is ampere hour, energy capacity, life of battery, all these are very important. So we have a battery requirement that they are designed to give power over sustained period of times. Deep cycle batteries are used instead of SLI. This SLI batteries मतलब जो हम अभी यूज करते हैं अपने टू व्हीलर में या फोर व्हीलर में स्टार्टिंग लाइटिंग और इग्निशन के लिए, जबकि हमारी ये बैटरीज जो ईवीज में यूज होती है दे आर डिफरेंट. Traction batteries must be designed with a high ampere hour capacity, high power to weight ratio, high specific energy, high energy density, and they should be lighter in weight. A long range of batteries are available. Lead acid, the most popular and oldest one. Nickel cadmium, nickel metal hydride, lithium ion, lithium polymer. बहुत सारी वैरायटी है. जिंक एयर, एल्यूमिनियम एयर रिसर्च चल रही है उसके ऊपर. So most common battery types in modern electric vehicles are lithium ion and lithium polymer batteries. They are giving relatively large power, they are having high power density, high energy density, and they are having a long, relatively very long uh, life. Their number of cycles for recharge is also very high compared to lead acid batteries, right? So ये 5 से 7 साल तक काम कर सकती है, जबकि हमारी कॉमन जो बैटरी होती है वो 2 साल 3 साल मुश्किल से चलती है. तो lithium ion batteries and lithium polymer batteries, lithium phosphate batteries, zinc air batteries, aluminum air batteries पे बहुत रिसर्च चल रही है. बैटरीज इन इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स इटसेल्फ एक बहुत बड़ा सब्जेक्ट है एंड उसके ऊपर एक अलग पूरा डिस्कशन हो सकता है. सो हियर इट्स अ ओवरव्यू इज प्रेजेंटेड ओवर हियर. See the different batteries used in different cars. All are using lithium-ion batteries only, but capacity is varying from 6.1 kilowatt hour to 100 kilowatt hour, and price is also huge. Euros में price है. European market से ये slide हमने ली है website से. The comparison of different batteries, lithium-ion and nickel metal hydride, lithium sulfate, all these different batteries का comparative chart हमने दिया है. एक अलग मतलब we have taken up different vehicles and capacity point of view batteries. We have seen, you see Audi e-tron is having 95 kilowatt hour batteries. This is just to highlight that what uh, development has taken place in case of batteries. Huge size batteries are now available. Tesla Model 3, the largest selling vehicle, is having 70 kilowatt hour battery. So it can give 70 kilowatt power for 1 hour, or you can say the half the power for 2 hour, and so on and so forth. Likewise, huge power is available. Now let's go to the latest trends in electric vehicles. I think I have 15 more minutes for my presentation. Am I correct, madam?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We last 5 minutes we will go for the question answer session.
Okay. So you can interrupt me anytime, but I'll
Okay, sir.
I have a clock in front of me, so I'll most probably conclude in the given time only. Right. So now the we are discussing about the latest trends. What is latest trends? So first part is that charging of electric vehicles. This is the main problem over here. That we have fuel stations, but we don't have charging stations. So how charging is done? Charging is done in all these electric vehicles. There are three charging method. एक normal charging, conventional charging जो हम अपने घर पे अपने normal outlet से करते हैं, जो कि एक सिंगल फेज जनरली होता है और 13 से 20 एम्पियर कैपेसिटी का होता है, एंड इट टेक्स 8 to 10 आवर्स. सो इट इज अ फॉर नाइट चार्जिंग. सो 8 से 10 घंटे इसको फुल चार्ज होने में लग सकते हैं. दिस सेकंड इज नोन एज अपॉर्चुनिटी चार्जिंग, और यू कैन से कि जब कम्युनिटी पार्किंग एरिया या मॉल वगैरह में ऐसे चार्जिंग स्टेशन है, व्हेन यू पार्क एंड यू चार्ज, सो इट इज अ इंटरमिटेंट चार्जिंग. यहाँ पे आप 1 घंटे 2 घंटे 3 घंटे हाफ एन आवर जितने ड्यूरेशन के लिए है यू प्लग इन. So this is a intermediate charging. It is having capacity up to 8 to 20 kilowatt, and ये 32 से 80 एम्पियर में चार्ज कर सकता है. So it does not put much stress on the power system because ये intermittent है. And this is a fast charging. So dedicated charging stations are required. जहाँ पे आपको अपनी चार्ज अगर आप कार लेके जाओगे तो that they will charge in a 20 to 30 minutes. People are trying to have a, that means there are charging stations available. These are known as DC charging stations जो 20 minutes में आपकी कार आपकी बैटरीज चार्ज कर सकते हैं. At present there are a few, but research is going on. So but these are a heavy charging arrangements. You can see over here 36 to 90 kilowatt capacity का होता है. So when they are in operation, it puts very huge stress on power system. So इसको operate करने के लिए नियर बाय जो ऑपरेटिंग यूटिलिटी है उसकी परमिशन चाहिए, अदरवाइज इट विल क्रिएट अ पावर सिस्टम इश्यूज. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. The other one more अल्टरनेटिव इज देयर कि हम क्या कर सकते हैं कि बैटरी स्वैपिंग कर सकते हैं. चार्जिंग में टाइम क्यों वेस्ट करें, काम करते हैं एक जगह पे आप आए, वी टेक आउट ओल्ड ड्रेन बैटरीज एंड वैसे ही चार्ज बैटरीज से रिप्लेस कर सकते हैं. सो इफ वी कैन हैव अ setup for this, we can swap change the batteries in 5 to 10 minutes. The only problem over here is that the standardization battery packs is required. So all the electric vehicles of different make should use standard size standard ratings batteries, then only this is possible. And the advantage part from electrical engineering point of view is कि आपने ये बैटरीज डिस्चार्ज बैटरीज निकाल ली जो कि मतलब लार्जली आप चार्ज करोगे रात में जब ऑफ पीक पीरियड है. So utilities can also assign the time during which there is no load. So during that, all these discharge batteries can be charged. So a good mechanism can be there. The good business model is also there. Battery swapping is the future. बिकॉज जब तक चार्जिंग स्टेशन का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नहीं होता है, बैटरी स्वैपिंग इज गोइंग टू बी देयर मोस्ट पॉपुलरली. As I discussed, AC drives are coming up in a big way. Squirrel cage and PMSM motors. IGBT is the coming up as a most popular power switch in all the converters. Improvements in battery technology, improvements in charging technology, autonomous driving. These are the latest trends. Autonomous मतलब driverless charging, driverless driving. और Google कार के बारे में आपने सबने सुना होगा या देखा भी होगा. Solar power card. These are the areas in which the research is going on, and we have to look forward as an electrical engineering point of view. This is a simple example. In most of the power electronics and drives application, you come across this. You have a converter from AC to DC, you have a common DC link, and you have a DC to AC converter for running this variable voltage, variable frequency induction motor drive. So far we were over here we were having a diode rectifier, but now it is customary to have a PWM rectifier. So that is also having lot of advantages. So that is also a latest trend in this particular area. And this DC link over here, you have ultra capacitors, which also take care of a lot of power quality issues. We had a session in power in parallel diploma studies only on this topic itself. So at present, I am skipping this particular power quality issues. Now, what opportunities or challenges are there for EVs? Only 12% GST on EVs compared to high tax on luxury vehicles. So far, EV is a luxury vehicle, still only 12% GST to promote it. 64% of oil demand can be reduced if we switch to EVs. 35% carbon emission can be reduced. A big challenge, though, is the charging infrastructure. There is a lack of vehicle charging station. This year, some news: Nagpur has got first car charging station. Nagpur boasts having one of India's first electric taxi fleet, wherein 200 vehicles operate under the Ola. They are all EVs. Increasing power density is main challenge that is still to be conquered. Volume constraints are formidable inside a car because battery इतनी जगह ले लेती है. अगर बैटरी छोटी साइज की, कम weight की होगी, then it will be a revolution. Innovations are still needed at all levels of power electronics, inverter, power module, power devices, and on the battery side also. So a lot of research can be there in each such area. At last, I'll cover, that means I'll have a list of those topics also. And enhancing energy density and to achieve higher autonomy ranges is also important. The most commercial part, टेक्निकल पार्ट छोड़ दें तो कमर्शियल पार्ट में इट इज वेरी कॉस्टली. सबसे सस्ती कार भी 8 लाख की होती है, जिसकी रेंज 100 किलोमीटर के आसपास होती है और बैटरी भी उसकी छोटी होती है. और प्रीमियम रेंज 25 to 30 lakhs होती है. टेस्ला मॉडल 3 की तो बात ही मत करें, इट इज नॉट इन आवर रेंज. सो इट इज वेरी कॉस्टली. दैट इज द challenge right now. Future technology is about wireless charging, high power charging, long range, fast charging algorithms, lighter batteries. So these are the areas in which a lot of research is going on, and soon we'll see a lot of revolutions coming on. Now this is for the students and faculty, those who would like to pursue. See, I finished my doctorate in 2016, and I was working in induction motor drives application in electric vehicles and traction drives. So then I switched over to specifically in electric vehicles, and at present I am studying the whole subject. But my basic concentration is on the drives part and battery management system. Now, these are some of the areas. Estimation of battery pack for a given vehicle. It's a good project you can give for undergraduate diploma studies. Improved battery management systems. What is a battery management system? ये उसके ऊपर एक और talk हो सकती है. एक अच्छा, बहुत अच्छा interesting subject है. Because those batteries they require to be monitored, and उसके लिए एक पूरा एक hardware and software setup होता है, जिसको हम BMS बोलते हैं, battery management system. इम्प्रूव चार्जर डिजाइन पे काम हो सकता है. फास्ट चार्जिंग कैसे हो, वायरलेस चार्जिंग. नाउ V2G, vehicle to grid technologies, I could not touch up, because when you have hundreds and lakhs of crores of vehicles with say 30 kilowatt, 50 kilowatt batteries available and lying in parking, for almost, you can say, 80% of the day. They can behave as a generator, and they can give back to energy to the grid when the load is in peak. सो इस तरह की अरेंजमेंट हो सकती है, जिसको हम व्हीकल टू ग्रिड व्हीकल्स बोलते हैं। एक बहुत अच्छा लुक्रेटिव सब्जेक्ट है व्हीकल टू ग्रिड, V2G व्हीकल्स। अगेन वन मोर टॉपिक है जिसके ऊपर काम हो सकता है। व्हीकल डिजाइन, व्हीकल डायनेमिक्स के ऊपर भी हम बहुत सारा रिसर्च कर सकते हैं। Now these are some of the selling ideas, top models: Tesla, Nissan. You can see all big BMW, Mitsubishi, Hyundai, Renault, सब EVs बनाते हैं। अभी जो मेरे पास 2019 का डेटा है, जो ये वेबसाइट का मैंने स्क्रीनशॉट ही लिया है, इट इज अ Tesla Model 3 is leading, Tesla Model Y is coming, Roadster is also coming. Some of the popular EVs, you can see Audi A3. टेक्निकल पार्ट ही हम देखेंगे। बैटरी इज ऑफ 9 किलोवाट आवर एंड चार्जिंग रेट इज दिस। नाउ दीज आर द रेंजेस। आप देख सकते हो कि रेंज इज गोइंग अप टू ऑलमोस्ट 350 माइल्स। सो टेस्ला एस है, या दैट मीन्स 200 से 300 किलोमीटर रेंज में हम लोग जा सकते हैं। दीज आर सम ऑफ द EVs which are already manufactured. Right, so now I'll quickly summarize because it is already 5:52. That EVs are a very small percentage of total vehicles on the road today. Presently, they are very costly. In recent futures, EV will surpass IC vehicles. Lot of investment in EV charging stations is required, and it is going on. Those who want to go for business, it is a good business opportunity. Lot of research is also going in battery technology. Lithium-ion batteries, lithium phosphate batteries are at present the market leader, and a lot of research is future batteries are zinc air, aluminum air batteries, जो कि बहुत ही ब्रेक थ्रू टेक्नोलॉजी होगी। अभी वो कमर्शियली वायबल नहीं है, सेफ नहीं है। हाइब्रिड्स आर वेरी कॉमन दीज डेज। आप शायद एक यूज भी कर रहे हैं, शायद जानते भी नहीं है। Government is also supporting EVs. Western countries, China is going big way. 45% of the electric vehicles are at present with the China. So we are having very less percentage of it. In short, your next vehicle after 5 years can be an electric vehicle. So these are my references. I've already shared my PPT with the organizer, Hetal ma'am. She'll pass it on to you. And that's all I would wanted to convey in 1 hour. Thank you. I'm open to the stage is all yours to Ethel ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you once again, sir, on behalf of our university. It's very informative sessions. On behalf of one faculty, I would like to ask one questions. In electric vehicle, fast charging is one the issue. How to overcome this fast charging issue?
Now, fast charging is having three alternatives. If you want fast charging at your home, then you are supposed to have a higher capacity, higher voltage installation at your home. You have to go for a three-phase installation at your home and get permission, and that is one way. If you want fast charging at these stations, then a lot of research is going on where DC fast charging stations are to be installed. So where you within a 20 to 30 minutes you get batteries charged to up to 80%. So that is there, and at present it is in a research state, because if you charge the batteries in a quick fashion, the life reduces. So there is a compromise or a trade-off. So if you charge quickly, the battery life is reducing, so it is not recommended, and that's why a lot of research is going on and how to fast charge without disturbing the life of the battery.
Sir, there is one question.
Yes, sir.
From Automobile Department, Professor Sahil Khatri. Sir, can EV replace the conventional IC engine vehicle, which normally lies in the range between 3 lakh to 7 lakh, with same performance and parameter in future?
See, the situation is that what are your priorities? If your priorities are cost, then at present the cost is going down. Initially, the cost of EV was more than 25 lakhs only. it has come down to 15 lakhs. Nixon, Tata Nixon is 15-16 lakhs and having a battery life of 8 years गारंटी देते हैं वो लोग. तो इट इज कमिंग डाउन एंड 8 लाख की कार भी आई थिंक किया मोटर्स लेके आ रही है, बट एट प्रेजेंट फिर भी ये कॉस्टली है. तो कॉस्ट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू अगर देखें तो अभी तो मुझे लगता है कि 5 साल लगेंगे बीट करने में. बट एक टाइम आता है से इन अ सिटी लाइक दिल्ली where pollution is an issue and suppose it is not able to drive the vehicle because it is creating lot of pollution. So in coming future, say in 5 to 7 years, pollution is going to be an issue and in city limits जो हमारे metropolitan area है उसमें हो सकता है कि EVs ही यूज करना पड़े या IC इंजन व्हीकल्स पे बहुत ज्यादा ड्यूटीज या टैक्सेस डाल दिए जाएं, EV यूज करने पे बहुत ज्यादा सब्सिडी हो. तो उस वक्त हो सकता है कि सिटी लिमिट्स में तो मुझे लगता है कि धीरे 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 परसेंटेज ऑफ EVs विल गोइंग टू बी मोर एंड IC इंजन व्हीकल्स. बट हाँ, ये एक साइक्लिक फैशन में है. आपने हिस्ट्री भी देखा भी होगा, हिस्ट्री में भी EVs वेर देयर इन 1800 के एंड में और 1900 बिगिनिंग में. फिर IC इंजन केम ओवर. तो IC इंजन टेक्नोलॉजी है वो भी पॉल्यूशन वाले पार्ट में या अल्टरनेटिव फ्यूल वाले पार्ट में कुछ रिवॉल्यूशन करे तो दे आल्सो कैन कम्पीट. रिसर्च इज गोइंग ऑन, बोथ इंडस्ट्रीज नेक टू नेक फाइट कर रही है एक दूसरे के लिए क्योंकि उनके भी एग्जिस्टेंस का सवाल है. तो ओनली वी हैव टू वेट एंड वॉच. आई प्रिडिक्ट दैट सिटी लिमिट्स जो है बड़े सिटीज हैं उसमें धीरे धीरे EVs को लोग प्रमोट करते जाएंगे एंड IC इंजन व्हीकल्स को धीरे धीरे डिस्करेज करते जाएंगे.
सर एक और क्वेश्चन है सर, अभी जो इंडिया में अगर कोई कार परचेज करनी है तो सर हाइब्रिड बेटर रहेगा या EV बेटर रहेगा? कंप्लीटली बैटरी ऑपरेटेड और हाइब्रिड, विच ऑप्शन इज गुड?
आपकी अफोर्डेबिलिटी पे डिपेंड करता है. अगर आपकी अफोर्डेबिलिटी रेंज है 8 से 9 लाख वाली रेंज है तो हाइब्रिड ज़्यादा अच्छी रहेगी. और अगर आप अफोर्ड कर सकते हैं 15, 16, 17 लाख वाली रेंज में तो EV ज़्यादा रहेगी. परफॉर्मेंस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू EV इतनी सुपीरियर होती है कि आप कंपेयर नहीं कर सकते. सो इफ़ यू कैन अफोर्ड एंड इफ़ यू वांट परफॉर्मेंस, जैसे आप हाई परफॉर्मेंस उसमें आपने एक्सीलरेटर पर पैर रखा पता भी नहीं चलेगा एंड इट विल हैव एक्सीलरेशन लाइक एनीथिंग. सो परफॉर्मेंस इज फार बेटर कम इन EVs. हाँ, प्राइस रेंज जो है वो 15-16 लाख से ऊपर की है तो ही एक अच्छी EV ले सकते हो. बाकी नीचे वाली EVs है उसमें उतना मजा नहीं आएगा, छोटी कार रहेगी, रेंज ज्यादा नहीं रहेगी. If you cannot drive for at least say 250-300 kilometers, then it is not worth having EV. हाइब्रिड लेना अच्छा है क्योंकि उसमें आप फ्यूल से टॉप अप करा सकते हो तो आपको रेंज एंग्जाइटी नहीं रहेगी. व्हेनेवर आप ड्राइव पे जा रहे हो नहीं तो ये पता लगेगा कि कहाँ रुक जाएंगे. तो अभी चार्जिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नहीं है इसलिए इन दिस डे हाइब्रिड इज बेटर. बट गो फॉर प्लग इन हाइब्रिड इफ पॉसिबल.
थैंक यू.
Sir, there is a question from the civil department faculty, Mr. Khokhar sir. Question is, what are the scope of electrical vehicle in Gujarat and factors affecting against this development?
See, scope तो बहुत सारे हैं. The scope is that means government itself is promoting it. It is having a fund just to promote the electric vehicles. So if suppose I am manufacturer and I want to manufacture EVs, then there will be less GST, a lot of subsidy will be available and a lot of facilities are there. So there are things available. The main part is that we do not have batteries manufactured in India. All the lithium ion and all the latest batteries which can be used in EV are available only in China. So that is a bottleneck. So these days अभी तो ये all बिल्कुल भी EV मार्केट को थोड़ा झटका लगेगा because of the COVID times. 6 महीने पीछे चला जाएगा. एंड दूसरी बात है कि चार्जिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर और ये सब अभी हम बात कर रहे हैं बट कहीं कॉन्क्रीट दिख नहीं रहा है. इन अ बिग सिटीज ओनली दे हैव स्टार्टेड. इन गुजरात अभी तो कुछ कॉन्क्रीट दिख नहीं रहा है. सो यू ओनली हैव टू, हाँ, इफ यू परचेज तो आपके घर पे वो इंस्टॉल करके जाते हैं बट इट इज़ यूज फॉर, जैसे मैं अपने कॉलेज जाता हूँ और वापस आता हूँ तो उसके लिए मैं EV यूज़ कर सकता हूँ. बट अगर मैं दूसरे सिटी में जा रहा हूँ और या कहीं ड्राइव पे जा रहा हूँ, इफ आई एम गोइंग टू सम अदर टूरिस्ट प्लेस, तो आई हैव टू हैव अनदर व्हीकल बिकॉज वहाँ पे चार्जिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर अभी नहीं होगा. सो दीज आर द चैलेंजेस. चार्जिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इज द मेन चैलेंज. बैटरीज अभी तो 8-8 साल की वारंटी वाली आ रही है. सो इट इज अ गुड, सो दैट चैलेंज इज नाउ नॉट मच इन. बट एक तो प्राइस रेंज प्रॉब्लम है, और दूसरा है कि कस्टमर विल नॉट बी एबल टू यूज इट फॉर इंटरसिटी ट्रैवल। दैट मीन्स 2 सिटी के बीच में यूज नहीं कर पाएगा वो, सिटी में विद इन द रेंज 40-50 किलोमीटर के कम्यूट के लिए बहुत अच्छी व्हीकल है। आप वहाँ पे भी, ऑफिस में भी, पार्किंग में भी चार्जिंग की अरेंजमेंट कर सकते हो, घर पे भी कर सकते हो। तो वेरी गुड अल्टरनेटिव। वील स्टार्ट विद दैट। आई थिंक ये वाला जो फेज है, जो मैंने पहले भी बताया, मेट्रो सिटीज में बहुत सारे लोग कम्यूट करते हैं 40-50 किलोमीटर रेंज में, वहाँ पे ईवी सबसे बेस्ट है। वहाँ पे 8 से 10 घंटे, 12 घंटे वो लोग काम करते हैं, उस वक्त चार्जिंग के लिए रख दे सकते हैं, घर पे भी रख सकते हैं। एंड लेटर ऑन रेंज एग्जाइटी का प्रॉब्लम भी नहीं है, क्योंकि व्हीकल की रेंज 100-150 किलोमीटर तो मिनिमम होती है, और आपको रोज ट्रैवल करना है सिर्फ 40-50 किलोमीटर।
Sir, one another questions from the diploma students, it's a 4th semester students, Devans Bhatt. His question is, as electrical vehicle have high initial cost but cheap charging cost, while gasoline vehicles have low initial cost but we have for fossil fuels. So in long run, which from the both prove to be more economical?
इकोनॉमिकल की बात अगर हम करते हैं, दैट मीन्स इफ यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट फ्यूल इकोनॉमी, ऑफ कोर्स ईवीज आर व्हीकल, तो आपको परफॉर्मेंस एंजॉय करना है, एंड इफ यू कैन अफोर्ड, ईवीज आर बेटर। गवर्नमेंट इज सपोज टू गिव सब्सिडी फॉर परचेजिंग, सो दैट हाई इनिशियल कॉस्ट विल कम डाउन, एंड रनिंग कॉस्ट तो उसकी ऑलमोस्ट वैसे भी कम है। इफ यू हैव सपोज आई हैव अ रूफटॉप सोलर पावर प्लांट एट माय होम, so I have a lot of electrical energy generated which I can use for charging purpose, so that part is solved। तो वो बिल पैसे भी ज़्यादा आने वाला नहीं है। एंड रनिंग कॉस्ट की बात कर रहे हैं तो वो कवर हो गई। कैपिटल कॉस्ट, उसमें गवर्नमेंट की हेल्प अभी हमें चाहिए इन द लॉन्ग रन, पॉल्यूशन को देखते हुए और फ्यूल की स्कैर्सिटी को देखते हुए, बिकॉज पेट्रोल इज गोइंग टू बी डिप्लीटेड, पेट्रोल एंड डीजल इज गोइंग टू बी डिप्लीटेड इन अ कमिंग ईयर्स। देयर इज नो ह्यूज सोर्स कमिंग आउट न्यू। अभी जो प्राइसेस डाउन है वो तो पॉलिटिकल या कोविड सिचुएशन की वजह से है, बट अदरवाइज फ्यूल रेयर होने वाला है एंड पॉल्यूशन बढ़ता रहने वाला है। तो ईवी इज गोइंग टू बी अ बेटर ऑप्शन। हमें, मतलब सिटीजन को और गवर्नमेंट को मिलके देखना है कि हाउ वी कैन प्रमोट इट। वी कैन स्टार्ट विद दिस लोकल कम्यूटिंग व्हीकल्स एंड पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट, वो अगर ईवी में अगर रिप्लेस करते हैं देन इट इज गोइंग टू बी देयर। तो इन माय ओपिनियन ईवी इज गोइंग टू बी अ बेटर ऑप्शन, बट अभी कॉस्ट वाइज हम नहीं कर सकते। क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ, दैट मीन्स इफ यू want to have a cleaner environment and a super performance, then EV is going to win with far more points compared to ICE engine vehicles.
One more question.
Yeah.
Right in India, some remote locations power shortage is there. So is it possible to develop charging point at remote location place?
See here that charging infrastructure itself is a problem in the metro cities. So remote location पे charging station की बात नहीं है, बट वहाँ पे आप जैसे हम अभी माइक्रो ग्रिड की बात करते हैं, मतलब यू हैव अ सोलर और विंड स्मॉल ग्रिड, माइक्रो ग्रिड देयर, एंड देयर यू कैन यूज EVs in that particular fashion। तो इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी का सोर्स तो आपको अवेलेबल कराना पड़ेगा, बट वो रिन्यूएबल से रिमोट लोकेशन पे अवेलेबल है। उसका लोकेशन डिपेंड करता है कहाँ पे है। अगर हमारे वाला इक्वेटर वाले रीजन में है और अच्छा सनलाइट मिलता है तो सोलर इज अ गुड ऑप्शन। सो जो हमारे सुबह 10 बजे से लेके 4 बजे तक जो सनलाइट मिलती है उससे बैटरीज आसानी से चार्ज हो सकती है, एंड उससे इन्वर्ट करके हम अपनी रात को कार भी चार्ज कर सकते हैं। तो डिपेंडिंग ऑन दी सिचुएशन, लोकालिटी के हिसाब से, विंड अवेलेबल है, सी शोर है, तो विंड से इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी जनरेट करनी पड़ेगी, बट सोर्स ऑफ एनर्जी तो चाहिए। अदरवाइज चार्जिंग स्टेशन तो एक सिर्फ हार्डवेयर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, सोर्स ऑफ एनर्जी तो चाहिए। एंड ईवीज को अगर हमने अपने ही गैस टर्बाइन, स्टीम टर्बाइन वाले पावर प्लांट से चलाया तो फिर तो कोई मतलब नहीं है। इफ आई एम यूजिंग ईवी, इट्स ऑब्जेक्टिव इज जीरो एमिशन व्हीकल, उसके लिए इट इज रिक्वायर्ड that I should use source of energy which is also non-polluting. That means most of it should come from solar and wind. तो तभी जाके हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव मीट हो पाएगा। बट यू आर हैविंग लॉट ऑफ सोलर रूफटॉप एंड अदर सोलर एनर्जी, सो यू नेवर नो, इट इज पॉसिबल। Yeah, madam,
Sir,
any
have you questions? Otherwise, I have finished my questions. Purvesh sir and Parvesh sir, have you received any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So I hope there is no more questions and viewers enriched by their electric vehicle knowledge and informations. Thank you, sir, once again. Thank you very much. We'll end
Thank
up
you,
the
ma'am.
webinar.
Yeah. Thank you, Hetal ma'am. Thank you, Parul Diploma Studies. Thank you, Ruchi ma'am. Thank you, all the organization, Purvesh. You have been working very hard. Uh, I am actually very thankful to Hitler madam. Second time she has given me opportunity to interact with the audience from Parul University. It was pleasure being with you, and in this I also learned a lot. So really happy to be with you. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Good day. Good day, sir.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Good day.
Good day.